everybody, it's ET. It's March 28th, 2020. It's 3:15 p.m. and it's a hot day out there in New Orleans. But I'm inside and I'm gonna be doing some programming, so it's gonna be good times, good times. Right, so let's get started, shall we? So I think last time we left off working on the tile map, just like painting, and we have two different layers. I don't have a way to create new layers or do anything drastic, but we at least got to start. So we have our two different layers here. So I'm painting on layer 1, and here I'm going to paint on layer 2, the mirror image, and you can see I disable one or the other. Disable both, have both. Yeah, and then we can make it slightly bigger too if we want to paint some more. Layer 1, and yeah, this doesn't have any like transparencies or anything, so can't really see what's going on, but basically you have two layers and things are happening. Okay, I'm gonna go through my to-do list because I think we have just some basic functionality we want to make. Like panning the grid around, zooming in and out. I have some ideas in my head, like we need to create new layers, we maybe need to rename the layers, and we have other things we want to do, but this is where we're starting. Okay, so here it is. Let's go to our to-dos. Sorry, I was just looking at we have group by project. Group by project. Okay, well, I don't think I need to do that. Okay. Here we go. So, right, we want to be able to pan the tile grid around the canvas. We want to restrict the panning to maybe like have limits on the panning so you don't like bring the tile grid way out of the view. Zoom in and out. We want to be able to export this to CSV and paint tiles while holding a mouse button down. Yeah, that's another one we want to do. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's get started. Let's talk about maybe I think zooming would be pretty easy, but I want to zoom where the mouse is. So like wherever the mouse is on the canvas, I kind of wanted to like start zooming in from there. Okay, let's do that. So if I was to do this just using the camera, we have this camera object here in the scene editor. We can move the camera object around. We can go like put it here. And what we could do is I think just change the size of the camera, and then that can basically be our zoom. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what you're. Okay, yeah. Maybe I'm just like moving the zoom too hard. So okay. So if we were to say we're at 3. No, let's say we're at 2. All right, 1. Oh wait, no, it's getting bigger. All right, so at 5, we're here. 4. Are we like 1/5, like 25% bigger? I don't want it to be so arbitrary. Like I want the zoom to be like, if I do the scroll wheel, I want it to like be at like incremental steps. So I just want to make sure this is, I'm sure, well the size is not going to be incremental because as we get closer to 0, we can see it's just getting even faster, I think. So maybe not so much that. Maybe more, I'll figure out the actual like zoom equation later. For now, we'll just make sure when you're doing a mouse wheel up or down, it will uh, it will zoom. So we're gonna make a new folder. We'll just call this like camera controls, and it'll just be like how the view is set up. Maybe we'll even call it view controls. That might be a better name for this. Maybe because I'm in play mode. Oh yeah, view controls. It didn't like me renaming scripts while I was in play mode. So okay, view controls, and we're gonna have a current zoom. We'll do that. View zoom. Okay. And this is just gonna be a data class. So this would be component. And we're just gonna have, I guess, like a float called zoom. I will start it off at 1, but I guess yeah, we'll start it off at 1. We'll see what happens. Okay, okay. I may even grab the camera. I guess I'll require you to be on a camera object. So you're going to be required to be on a camera object, and just if you don't have a camera, go ahead and assign the camera to the camera that's on yourself, because you require one, right? So that's how I'm handling this. So let's see, main camera. Let's add this view zoom. And you can see I got reference to the main camera already. The zoom's equal to 1. And I'm going to make the actual script behavior that happens every update loop. And this will be like view zoom update, or update view zoom. I can't ever get this naming convention down. Because like I do like to separate the systems and the components, but at times I want to keep them together, you know? So here we go. So for each, we'll just get for each view zoom and get entities item 1. Ooh, I'm gonna implement that too. That's something I've been wanting to do. So instead of having me to say for each entity, get the first component of that entity, like I just want to do like for each entity that has this, go for it. So let me go ahead and do that. I know it's not so fun, but it's gonna make work easier later. So let's see, protect it for like a T. If we want to get entities, T, and we'll call this get entities item 1. Then we will just say this can be, should I say where T is a component? Then we just say get entities T, select the entity item 1. Is that all I want to do? Enumerable T. Yeah, that seems right. Alright, now let's try the next one, where we have 2 types. T0, T1, where T0 is a component, where T1's a component. We're gonna grab T0, T1, and we'll just get oh yeah, and instead of iron removal T0. That seems right. And then for the second component, we just change this to T1, and we're getting item 2. Something wrong. I did something wrong. Tell me where I'm going wrong. I guess I just put my mouse over here. Oh, yeah, item 2. Forgot to rename the function. Okay, and let's go ahead and start making this for 3, and then we should be ready to go. So get enumerable T0, we'll get item 1, and we're gonna grab all 3 of these things, and yeah, that looks good. So that's item 1. If we want to get item 2, it'll be of the second type, item 2, and then the third type, item 3. That's T2, item 3. I screwed something up. Too many. What did I do? Oh, I took out one of the triangle-y brackets. Okay, so I got that going. That looks good. So we should be able to go back to view zoom update. Yeah, now we have our item 1, and then we just say view zoom dot camera or dot zoom equals. Let's calculate zoom, or zoom to view zoom to camera zoom equals, we'll just say 5 for now, then we'll say view zoom divide equals view zoom dot zoom. So if you divide by 2, it'll go to 2.5. Yeah. Let's also say view zoom. Let's clamp this just so. View zoom equals math f dot clamp view zoom. Let's say you can't be less than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 floats, or I guess 100 or 1,000 times zoom. I don't know. Anyway, these are our max and min ranges. Maybe I can just put that on the actual view zoom object, but I haven't done that yet. Okay, let's make you 5F. Alright, so we have view zoom to camera zoom. We're getting the zoom. Excuse me. Camera view zoom dot camera is gonna dot orthographic size equals view zoom to camera size. Maybe we'll call it camera size. Okay. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, you can't. Yeah, you have to use the zoom value. Okay. And you gotta have your semicolon. That seems good. Nice small piece of code. Now let's go ahead and start adding these things. You need to have this on the camera, which I think I already have it. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna try it. Does that seem like twice as big? I guess I could do the pixel test. And right now it's just zooming straight into the middle here. 3, 4, 5, and then 0.1. Oh, 0.1 is like way. So this is 1, 0.9, 0.8. Oops, 0.8, 0.7. So okay, it looks like I have this zoom working, but like whether it's right or not, I can't say for sure. But we have this like zoom ability now. So let's just go ahead and say that's fine. You can't reset to 1. Okay. Well, yes, that looks fine. Let's go ahead and hook this up to a mouse wheel. So, okay, that's the view zoom update. That's basically update camera maybe. Let's rename this. Update camera. View zoom update camera. And then the other thing we'll do mouse wheel to view zoom or something like that. Mouse scroll, mouse wheel to zoom, something like that. And what we'll do is grab each one of our view zooms, or you know what we should have? A mouse wheel event. Alright, mouse wheel event and get entities. Oh, can't get entities because we're not an ETS system. Get entities. We'll just say item 1, mouse wheel event. And look, we don't have a mouse wheel event yet, so let's make that. So in our Unity data, we have an enter event. We're gonna just do something similar to that. We'll call you a mouse wheel event. Put you in your own file. Do you want to add? Yeah, just add it. Okay, yeah. So we have a mouse wheel event. What are you doing? Namespace does not correspond to the location. Should be Unity data. Okay. I'm thinking, and this is what I'm thinking. I think here's the thing. These events happen when my mouse is over an object. I'm thinking on the background, I should have just an object that just takes up the whole canvas. In case I don't click on anything and I just happen to click the background, these events will still trigger. So I'm gonna go do that, and we'll just call it background or nothing. Background's probably the best. So let's go ahead and make a new panel. This guy is actually outside of the layers panel, and I just want you to stretch across the whole thing. I don't need you to even have an image. I just want you to, but I do need you to be something, so you have to be an image, but I don't need a sprite is what I should say. Put you at the bottom here. Oh wait, the bottom means the top, right? So put you at the top, that means you're way in the back. This will be called background. What I'll do, just so I can tell that it's there, I'm just make it black, maybe a gray, and maybe make it even more transparent, like just like maybe a 32 would be good, something like that. Okay, so I know it's there. It's a little darker, but yeah. Okay, so we have our background. I do have a problem though. Is my mouse events just being taken? Is the background really on top? Wait, what do I, oh no. Okay, let's see. I'm having issues. Oh, hmm, I see. The background is behind all my UI, but it's still above all my actual sprites in the world. That's a problem. So what we need to do is maybe I could I'll put you in a, yeah, I'll put you in a lesser layer. Can I have a layer before default? Or is there like, yeah, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I think I need to just put this in the world, I guess, instead of making it UI. I don't like that too much, but it will help, I think. So, okay, instead of a UI, I'm actually gonna attach it to the camera, and really, it's just gonna kind of consider the camera's zoom, and it will be the background. So, we'll just make you a quad. We will rotate you. You seem like you're okay, but I don't see you in the actual camera. Right, like I see him here. He's by the tiles right here. Is it cause you rotate him? No, maybe the other way, negative, maybe 180? Where is he? He's right there, I see him. Oh, we all see the problem now, right? He's behind the camera, but in 2D mode, you can't really tell that. So the camera is probably at -10. The quad should be at 10, right? And take out this rotation. Here we go. So here he is. There's the quad. So this could be our background. And so the background I will make as big as this guy for now. But let's make this better numbers though. 10 by 17.8. In fact, I'll probably even move him further back, like 100, just so he's like way back there. So he's not like getting in front of my tiles. So when I play this, hopefully I can paint on my tile grid. Yay! And if I look at the event system though, my mouse is over some tiles right now. Now it should be over the background. Oh, but there's no collider, so we gotta make sure we give it a collider. But then yeah, it's over these guys, over some UI. Okay, so let's go ahead and give the background a nice collider and name him background. So he's background, box collider 2D. Are you not a 2D thing? Oh, you have a mesh collider. Let's get rid of you. Box collider 2D. Alright, let's try that out for size. Okay, so let's go to our event system. Yeah, so now you can see it's on background. Now it's on cell. It's like right above my head, or right there, I guess, is where I'm looking. Right. Okay, so we got a background now. All that just to say, maybe, just maybe, if you pinch the background around, it will move. But that might not be what we want either. You might just have it where if you click a cell, you select it, but if you click it again, it's like just move things around. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay, okay. I like what's happening. Yeah. Yeah. just thinking. Yeah, for now, I'm just going to listen to left clicks on this. But yeah, eventually I think I'm going to want to like really depend on what's selected. So like if there's nothing selected, if you like kind of drag it around, it will pan the screen around. But if you have something selected, you'll start painting tiles. I think that will be a better user experience. Yeah, yeah. Alright, so let's listen for clicks on the background. Let's go ahead and make a background. Why don't I just make a folder called background? Background. Right now you're just kind of be acting as a tag only, but maybe you'll be more in the future. We'll see. So we have our background. I'm also gonna just give you a mouse listen event, and yeah, I'll put the camera on you, and hopefully as I like click the background, this will start changing. Yeah. Okay, good. But if I click here, it's not changing the background. Good, good, good. Click here, change the background, click here, don't change the back, click here, change the background, don't click here. Oh, I'm also doing on enter, I guess. Is that right? Yeah, on enter, I'm also, sorry, I saw it just for a second. Yeah. So it's not only on pointer down, but on enter, it's listening for that too. So I might as well listen to you on mouse wheel. So let's do that. Is that something I can simply add to this? I pointer on, click on up. Yeah, what's a bummer is if it doesn't have it, you have to make it yourself, and now I got to think about how I'm gonna make this myself. So, I'm thinking right now. I'm just gonna do this on an update function. Here's a question I have. Event system. Is that something I can just grab? Alright, so I have the event system. That's actually quite useful, maybe? I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Let's just listen for that input, the mouse wheel. Maybe it's time to go shopping for like pinch zoom events, because I might want the pinch and I might want the drag, and maybe that's all already done in a nice asset for us on the asset store. So let's go shopping a little bit just to see what's out there. It's always good to do that. I haven't been doing that like ever. I always want to do it myself, you know, and I should totally just shop for it. If we can get there. Okay, yeah, it's loading. Thank you, brother. Good luck to you too. I'm doing my best. Come on, asset store, load. I can just do this in a browser too. Asset store Unity. Oops, I misspelled Unity. And I'm doing this on the other monitor so you guys can't see it. So let me bring it over. Okay. What about like mouse events? Or no, touch? Pinch event? Alright, this has standard gestures, tap, double tap, swipe, zoom, works with the event system. Cool. Let me watch this. I'm gonna pause this, watch this. Yep, the tap seems fine. Double taps, yep. Alright, it looks good. I wonder if they can show me some code.
Hey there, it's Jeff, creator of your Not too many, so it's nice and easy. On the finger script, you have treat mouse pointer as finger. This allows you to use the left, middle, and right mouse button as individual fingers. You can also use the shift key and the control key to rotate and pinch and zoom. So let's give you a quick demo of that right now. I'm running on Windows here. Not a touch screen at all. I'm just moving my mouse cursor here. But as I press shift, you can see that it's putting two fingers down. I've got a two-finger pan gesture that lets me kind of drag the earth around, but if I use the mouse wheel, it'll start rotating those fingers. And you can simulate a rotate gesture, and then the control key, same thing, brings them in to zoom out and brings them further apart to zoom in, just as you would on any touch screen. So very, very handy to not have to deploy to your Android or iOS device or Windows tablet in order to test simple things like pinching, zooming, and rotating. Okay, default DPI is a way to tell the script what to do if Unity can't figure out what the DPI is. Since this asset works in inches, it needs to know the DPI to calculate various thresholds, such as, hey, when should a pan gesture start? It doesn't start when the finger goes down. The finger has to move just a tiny bit, and the script uses the DPI to determine how many inches or fraction of an inch that the finger has moved in order to determine if that gesture started. So you can set that to a value different than 200. I think 200 is probably fine, but feel free to change that if you don't like it. Okay, let's get to the public methods of finger script. There's only a couple. Most of the time here will be spent in the demo script to show you how I'm interfacing with all these gestures and stuff. So let's go over to Visual Studio, look at the finger script, go to the bottom. You can see there's a couple of public methods. This is literally all there is as a public interface to this script, and it allows you to add gestures to the script so that they start receiving callbacks. You can take gestures out if you don't want them to get callbacks anymore, and you can get a collection of all touches on the screen. And that's pretty much it. All the other stuff is simply a Unity driver to take all the Unity touches and the mouse and get touch events and send them to all of the current gestures. All right, let's go back to Unity. You'll see that I've added a demo script here, right above finger script. It has a reference to finger script so that it can add and remove gestures. I've got the earth here in the background. The DPI label will get populated when the game runs. I've got this asteroid prefab that I use for tap gestures. Whenever you tap, it will create an asteroid. And I've got a line material so that when you swipe it, I can draw a line to show you where you just swiped. Finally, I've got these 10 touch circles. So up to 10 touch events will be tracked with a circle, as you saw earlier when I did the pinch and zoom and rotate gestures. Okay, let's go down to the demo script and show you how all of this works. For your own game, here's what I would suggest. I would suggest getting a start method of your own script and setting up all of your gestures there, like I've done. I've created all of these gestures. I have a tap gesture to create asteroids. I have a double tap gesture, which will remove asteroids. A swipe gesture, which will push asteroids out of the way. I have a pan gesture, which allows me to drag the Earth around. A scale gesture to make the Earth bigger or smaller. A rotate gesture to rotate the Earth. And I have a long press gesture that will allow me to grab hold of an asteroid and fling it. Okay, so if you've used iOS before, UI Gesture Recognizer is kind of the inspiration I got for this script. You can have other gestures require other gestures to fail. So in this case, I have a single tap gesture, which creates an asteroid, but in order for that gesture to fire, I need the double tap to fail. So I set on the tap gesture, I say, hey, since you have a tap and a double tap, I need that double tap to fail. Otherwise, you could get a double tap gesture firing along with two taps, which would not be what you want. So if you're using taps and double taps, you'll need to make sure to set require gesture recognizer to fail on your single tap gesture. Finally, as you saw, I was able to pan scale and rotate the Earth all at the same time. Gestures in this script are exclusive by default, so if one gesture starts executing, no other gestures will be allowed to execute until that gesture finishes. However, you can override that by allowing simultaneous execution with other gestures. Now, this works both ways. This pan gesture allows simultaneous execution with scale gesture, means that that scale gesture can work simultaneously with the pan gesture. You don't need to set it both ways. It automatically links it both ways for you. In addition, the pan gesture works simultaneous with the rotate gesture, and the scale gesture works simultaneous with the rotate gesture. So there's three separate gestures. All of them can act simultaneously with each other. So here's the kind of what I suggest for your setup. Create all of your gestures in your script in the start method. Let's look at how these are created now. Tap gesture is pretty easy. You create a new tap gesture, you set the updated callback, which is similar to UI gesture recognizer's callback, and you set it to a method. Now I had some trouble on iOS using inline lambda expressions, so I set my callbacks to be actual methods just in case. Now this was like a few months ago, maybe Unity's fixed that by now, but to be safe, you probably want to have your methods in the script rather than inline. And then finally, once this tap gesture is created, I simply add it to the finger script, and now that gesture is ready to get callbacks. Let's take a look at this updated method so you can see how this works. Tap gesture callback. Each callback has the same signature. You'll get the gesture recognizer with the callback, and you will get the callback.
It's good. I was hoping to like have more of the kind of like what Unity is doing here. Have like these kind of interfaces I can use. That's really what I was looking for. So I'll think about it. But gesture, I think, is kind of what I want. Gesture event, pointer events, pointer event, pointer. Like I like the event. I just want it to be. I don't know if I'm making sense. I just want it to be like kind of these separate classes that I can kind of use. I think I'm just gonna make it myself. I know. I'm like not. I'm not doing any kind of best practices or anything. I'm like I'm just gonna do everything myself. But like I want control. I need control. I'm a control freak. Okay, let's do it. Right. So most mouse events is gonna depend on which camera you're doing things in, right? Especially if you're trying to get the world positions right, right. So, okay, let's just talk about the events we want. We want the down event, that's fine. Actually, we're already getting that. Uh, yeah, so everything's gonna, I guess, happen from this mouse listener. Uh, but I can, I guess, do things via this guy. So, okay, we're basically not going very far from what we've already done. So if input dot mouse scroll delta does not equal 0, we'll start doing the next thing. If input dot mouse scroll delta less than 0, do I have the mouse wheel event? I want to add one more variable to this guy, and this guy is going to have public float scroll delta. Is that what it was? I think so. Yeah, scroll delta. I like that. Um, you know what? Screw that. We're just gonna make it is just a mouse wheel event. Okay, scroll delta. We're gonna go ahead and say mouse events. We're gonna create. We're gonna basically do what we did the launch function. We're going to say if there's no camera, just grab the main camera. Um, click position is gonna equal input dot mouse position. Sure. And then we're going to add a mouse scroll event game object dot add component mouse scroll event. Is that not the mouse wheel event? Let's change you to scroll event because everything else is scroll, so I might as well keep that scroll. Yep, so we're gonna say mouse scroll event. Um, and so we have the scrolly wheel, and so that we have the scroll event, let's start setting all the stuff about it. So mouse scroll event dot camera equals camera, mouse scroll event dot mouse screen position equals click position. Not that it's a click position. mouse, bad naming, scroll event dot, mouse world position. This is going to be harder, maybe. Camera, oh, maybe not. Screen to world point equals click position. I'm going to rename that, I think. The game object, this is going to be the harder, that's going to be the harder one. I'm not sure that I even want that, but game object equals, I'm going to see if event system has an easy way to get it. The game object, which nah, not the event system, game object. First, select the game object. That was selected first. Is focused, maybe. Game object, first selected game object, current selected game object. Maybe current selected game object. It's gotta be recast all, set selected game object. Any other cool game object types? Alright, this is current selected game object. I'm not sure if that's what I want to do, but that's what we're gonna do. Okay. And the most important thing about this whole thing is scroll delta, is mouse scroll delta. Input dot mouse scroll delta. Oh, are you not a game object? Oh, clicked game object. What are you? What are you? A vector 2? Ooh, okay. Oh yeah, because sometimes, I guess you could be XY. You can have a horizontal scroll and a delta Y. Okay. And so I'm guessing I should just say if you don't equal vector 2 dot 0 is what I'm checking here. Okay, so if you don't do that, that's fine. That's fine. Cool. So we have a way to get mouse scroll events. We don't care how you get the mouse scroll events. And we're probably going to do the same thing for clicking and dragging, just so, oh, in fact, maybe that's what I do. This is more the global one. So if the click game object is null, which I think it's going to be most of the time. Okay. Whoa. You finally came up. Great. All right. Right. So now we have a mouse scroll event, and I think everyone's going to be doing that. I don't know if that's a great idea. Well, the good news is we'll have the mouse scroll event on the background too. That's fine. That's fine. It's basically create a component on everyone that has mouse listener on it, and if you don't listen to it, then it pops up and then goes away, and it's no big deal. In fact, I should probably have it on this guy. Well, you can have it too, but this is who you wanted it on. Mouse listener event. Oh man, all right. Mouse listener event. You can just have this camera. Okay, so we have a mouse listener view zoom. So on our update view zoom, so on the scroll event, on let's see, view zoom, mouse scroll event. Uh, let's get item 2, or we'll get item 1, and this could be view zoom. We'll just say, oh, we want both items, I guess. So just get entities. Mouse scroll event equals entity dot item 1. View zoom equals entity dot item 2. And then we could just say view zoom dot zoom plus equals mouse scroll event dot scroll delta dot y. Is that what I want? I think so. I think so. Let's see. How about now? I think my oh, it's because I turned off Spotify. Thank you, thank you. That sucks. I don't know how long it's been without audio, but yeah, thanks, thanks. When I turn off the audio, my headset goes like turns off by itself after, being inactive for a while. And maybe I was just like really quiet too. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it's because I went to go listen to that YouTube video, which was, I think, yeah, a mistake. Okay. Well, should have been, yeah, it's not too long. Okay, so I think I got the mouse zoom thing working now, maybe? Right, oh no, I identified the problem, I didn't fix the problem. So instead of creating it like this, I think I have to do it like, do I have some kind of event system? I forget. What did I do here? For like events. ECS event. Okay, it wasn't there. Maybe like the event manager. I need to add it. Okay. Say ECS event. Sorry, just looking. So how am I doing this? I just have to create it. It'll disable it right away and queue it, and then later it will go ahead and start deleting them. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Uh, yeah. So that's what I'm forgetting to do here. Am I not doing it anywhere? How's it even like picking up anything if I'm not doing this? I don't know. Oh, oh, I am doing it. I'm doing it right here. I just need to do it on my next one. Okay. All is right with the world. At least the world that I'm living in this bubble. Okay, we're stopping. We're stopping. I got there. Great. Let's keep playing. See if the zoom is. Alright, I got the zoom working. Doesn't mean it's great, but it's there. Alright, so when I zoom, that's a big jump right there. But it's okay. Maybe I could just do a zoom rate. View zoom. I have zoom. And then like we'll have a zoom rate. And I'll just make this 0.01 for now. Something arbitrary. And then too many classes open. Close everything. Let's go back to view controller, the view zoom, the mouse wheel. So we're just gonna add that times view zoom dot zoom rate. Much smaller, but at the same time much more manageable. But yeah, maybe too small. But I can change that like on the fly by using the camera, the rate here. I can like up it by like 8, and then we can kind of move a little faster. Maybe even up that to 2. Yeah, that's a little better. I like that. That's a big jump though. I think as I get too big, it doesn't feel too great. That's why it's got to be like some kind of like curve or something instead of like linear. Right now I'm like just zooming out linearly, and I don't know if I'm zooming out linear because I'm looking at the size here. It goes from like 24 to 50,000, so maybe I'm not zooming out linearly, but 24, 500,000. Why? Why does it jump like that? I don't know. Anyway, I won't look into too much. I just wanted to get the basic functionality. We'll get the bugs out later. Uh, okay. Yeah, that seems good. So we have zooming. Let's see if we can get panning. Panning is also something really good that we can do. I think what I want to do is have on mouse down, move it around, and on mouse up, you just set it to false. So view zoom, we can have view pan, I guess would be the next good script to have. And view pan can be, what am I doing with view zoom? Oh wait, yeah, I'm doing the system already. I need to do the actual data. View pan will have maybe just position. Yeah, I guess just a position. Eventually, what I'll do. Whoa, what am I doing? Is I'll set the position on the data, and the camera, instead of like always snapping to the new position, will like smoothly move to the new position, so it has that like that nice smooth flow. And for now, it will just be like hard, as you move, it'll move exactly with wherever you want it to go. So just position, I guess, is where that's all that needs to be done there. Okay. So we have the position. Now what we want to do is start updating that if I'm like dragging the mouse around. So in order to do that, we will make I guess I'll just do a view pan update. I just realized view pan's probably not a component yet. And what about the one I just made? This one should be a system. Okay. So the view pan update, we will do a few things. Oh, maybe that's what I need to do on the view pan. Public. Maybe drag state I'm gonna need. I'm gonna make this thing called drag state. So basically, you know where in the dragging you are, so that the update can actually move the screen around as necessary. Okay, so drag state. I'm gonna make it an enum. Public enum, and let's think about what the states are gonna be. Just we'll call the first one ready. We'll call the next part start. Dragging. End. And then I guess it'll just be ready again after that. Okay. That seems to be good. Okay. I like that. So on the view pan update, we're gonna have the only time it will go from ready to start is when you like press down on the object, then it goes to start state. So let's just get the states right. So for each var view pan and get entities item 1 view pan. Oof, what am I doing? All right. So I'm gonna say I'm thinking. All right, let's just do it this way. So if you're view pan and you have a mouse down event, this is where we want to change view pan dot drag state. If view pan dot drag state was ready, then we want to go ahead and change that to start. Do I even care about it being start? Should I just go straight, just have is drag, like just make it a bool? Yeah, because like if I do all these states, maybe I'm just overcomplicating it. Maybe I just need to see if you're being dragged or not. Alright, let's just do that for now. Is dragging. And all I'm going to do is just say view pan dot is dragging equals true. And this code, what I'm about to write, will work for a single pointer device, but you know, on touch screens we have multiple pointers, all our fingers. So I have to be careful on how I'm stop and start dragging, because like if you're dragging one finger, like you accidentally tap, that tap when you release it might stop the dragging altogether, and that might cause undesired behavior. So just got to think about that. But for now, we'll just assume A1 entity idea. Sorry, one pointer. Uh, hmm. This is what I want to do. Oh, I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. We need a mouse down event, a mouse up event, and a global mouse down event, and a global mouse up event. And that way you're listening for the global mouse up event. Because sometimes if you like drag your finger and let it go really fast, sometimes your mouse is not on top of what you're dragging. So that's why you want that global mouse up event. So you don't care where it happened as long as the event actually happened, and then you can stop dragging. So okay, let's do that. Viewpan dot is dragging. Uh, is dragging equals false. Okay. Let's go ahead and make those two events that I want to do. So we have a global mouse down event and a global mouse up event. And we're just going to move these to your individual classes. And on our listener, we're going to go ahead and listen for that stuff. Is that what I want to do? I think so. Just how am I supposed to do this? If I'm just gonna do this, do the mouse, get mouse button down. We'll just do a left click for now. Private create. Very similar to what I'm doing here. Launch function. You're not going to have any event data, so you're going to have to rely on this. Yeah, this looks right. Excuse me. I'm trying to reuse these functions. That's why I'm being silent. I'm just trying to figure out how I can get all this code to just, since it's a lot of repeat code, I'm just seeing what's the best way to get this all in one place. So okay, so we have the event data. So we can't use you, but we could use your click position. But if you don't pass in any argument, the clicked game object is going to be null. Okay, this is right. What's the problem? Oh, maybe you're not right. I see. So here we go. The mouse button down. We're just gonna launch function mouse global mouse button down event. And if the mouse button is up, we'll make a global mouse up event. And yep, that seems good. I may also just do the same here, where we're going to launch function mouse scroll event. Oh, I'll just make you T then. And we don't have to do all that. Okay. Yeah, that makes the update at least a little cleaner. I can move this up a little higher. And figure out what's causing some errors here. Oh, yeah, I see. Let's return this mouse event, because sometimes we may actually use it. Okay, great. That was good. Good refactoring there. Add its functionality and then made new functions to reuse some of that code. Okay, so we have the mouse down, the mouse up, and those are global events now. And so everyone's listening to them. And let's go back to, what were we working on? We were working on the panning, right? View pan update, is that? Okay, cool. So we were doing, yeah, if you clicked on the actual object, go ahead and start dragging it. When you let go, no matter what, whether your mouse is on it or not, just release the dragging. And then if you're dragging, go ahead and, oh, we need to figure out where you started the dragging. So that's probably important and can be put on the view pan script. So public vector3 start position. And I guess you should set that right when you start panning. So view pan dot start position equals view pan dot transform dot position. Okay. Good, good. So now we got the start position. We can start moving the thing around. And is that what we want? It would be great just to have the starting screen position. So maybe, I mean, I feel like this guy has both, right? Alright, I'm gonna get both parts of this entity. So var view pan is equal to entity.item1, var.mouse down event equals entity.item2, and so the view pan stuff's gonna stay quite the same, except we're gonna say the mouse down event, and we're just gonna say the mouse screen position, or the world position, maybe the world position. I think that's fine. Okay, so we have the mouse position. But the position that we're going to get on the screen, if we do input.mouse position, we're just going to get the position on the screen. So let's just go ahead and do mouse. Thinking. We do have something called mouse position. Like maybe I'll just keep grabbing that. Alright. So for each view pan and get entities item 1, we'll just say view pan. If view pan is dragging, let's do more things. Let's get mouse position equals get entity mouse position. And so this should be updated every frame. So I'm going to say the delta is going to be my starting position minus my mouse position dot world mouse position dot what am I doing here? You're supposed to have a just a position. Okay, that position. What's the problem? You don't have a position, but you should have a position. Oh, let's get entities. Get entity. There we go. So now that we have a delta, we should be able to move the object from the starting position. Alright, I think we need two things. We need the starting position, starting transform position, and the starting mouse position. And now everything's broken for now, but we can easily fix this by saying starting mouse position, starting transform position. And this could be like the view pan dot transform dot position. And really, instead of transform, we could just say start camera position. If we're gonna be a little more human readable. So the mouse position, where did you start clicking the mouse, and where was the camera when that mouse was clicked? And then you should be able to just say the delta is the start mouse position minus the new mouse position, right? And then the camera position, or the view pan that transform that position. Well, we could just do this. The view pan dot position is equal to the view pan dot start position plus the delta. That good? Probably. And then, like I said, I'm going to just force the transform to be that same position, but later we can smoothly always go to that new target position. Okay, I think that makes some sense, and we're just going to let it go there. Let's see what happens. few things. I don't think I've added any of the systems, and I don't really know what I'm supposed to be clicking. I guess the background, right? I want that to do the panning. Okay. So the systems should be on the view controls. So where's my systems? Systems. I'm gonna add the view. We did the. Sorry, got a lot of things going on here. Mouse wheel to zoom is already there, right? View pan updates already. No, view pan updates the only thing we gotta add here. And now for the actual camera, we are going to view pan, view zoom. Uh, right, view pan doesn't exist anywhere, but I can add that. But if I add it to the background, it's gonna just move the background. Like, I think it makes most sense to add right here to the camera. But then the whole listener thing. Oh, yeah. Thinking. Hmm. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, the view pan. So I'm saying if you are have a mouse down event on the view pan, but the thing is, I don't think that I'm ever gonna click on the view pan because you don't have a collider, so it will always be like on the background or somewhere else. So should I just say for now the background? Because no one's gonna be clicking on the view. I could just do a global mouse down event, but then that's always panning no matter what. Let's just do that for now, but I don't think that's the solution. Maybe we can just check for the background. Okay, let's just do this for now, just to see what happens. Alright, so we have the view pan. Hopefully, it's kind of working. It's doing some weirdness, and I don't know why. Is it because of the Z? Oh yeah, the Z keeps moving a lot. So let's make sure whatever delta we have, let's make sure the Z equals 0. Okay, good. But something else is still fighting this. Hmm. The starting mouse and the starting camera position have seems to be working fine. Um, Although the position itself is fighting between two positions, and I don't know why. Hmm. Okay. well, we're getting there. And I think the is dragging seems to be working as expected. Alright, let's look at how we're getting our delta just to see. So we're getting the start mouse position, and we're subtracting uh, the mouse position. I mean, I could just flip it, but I don't see how that helps. I guess we should also check out the mouse position to make sure it's not like doing weird things. And I actually don't even know. Oh god. Let's not flip it. I think we had it right the first time. Still want to see what mouse position is doing. Who is holding on to mouse position? Is it the event system? Is it the tile grid? Ah, here we go. Mouse position. I see. It's getting the world position, but the world position's like always changing because the camera position's always changing, and that's causing it to like get confused. Okay, that makes sense. It's best just to do everything in screen position up front, and then only when you're about to do all of this, change it to world position, which makes sense to me. So let's go ahead and get the mouse screen position. Starting mouse screen position, and we can just get like input dot mouse mouse position, mouse screen position, mouse position, and I still think it should be the mouse position minus this guy. Right, so now we have the delta screen position. It'd be good to have this in delta. We'll say delta screen position. The delta can be view pan, or better yet, mouse position dot camera dot screen to world point delta screen position, and then just had that the Z to 0. Add that to the start camera position. Maybe that will be good. Well, okay. Right, it's just adding it to the start camera position, so it shouldn't change too much. I'm holding it down and I can just see it keeps going higher and higher and higher. So that's not right. Or maybe it's because of the minus thing. Should it just be? I don't know. I gotta think about it. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Um, hmm. we know the starting position on the screen. We know the difference. We basically need to know what that difference is in the world position and then apply that difference. I thought just getting basically the difference on the screen, putting it in the world would be a good way to get that delta. But it looks like it's not a great idea. And that's because why? Why is the delta growing so much? I'm going to put the delta as a variable so I can just see it growing. Or what if I got both this and this screen position and then I subtract it? Let's do that. I think that's what I need to do. That's what I need to do. I'm not converting the right screen position thing. Uh, so I want to get the screen position of the starting mouse position and the screen position of the mouse position and then subtract those to get the delta. So we actually already get one for, not free, but like one is by default. And then the other one we're just going to have to do, this is what I'm going to do. You're just going to start off as that. You're going to be the delta. Then delta we're going to subtract equals mouse position dot camera dot screen to world point, and then we're going to get the view pan dot start mouse position. And that being said, why don't I just get the mouse position at that point? I'm good with that. Oh, but we're also using it to, I'm thinking. So instead of getting the start mouse position like this, we should just get the mouse, or get the mouse world position like this. So we got the starting position of the world. Oh, but that's gonna move. We should continue sticking with the screen position. So we have the current world position, and then where in that world, that screen, okay, yeah, I think that's a significant difference. And then we'll just say delta.z equals 0. We'll see. That seems to be right. Phew. Alright. It's going backwards, but it's at least doing what we expect it to do, even if it's not the greatest. Okay. Okay. So now we got the panning. Let's go ahead and make it go the right way. I might just flip the script here. Make this start off and then subtract your current position. And then always be baffled why that's the case. Yeah, that just feels better. It's always like following your mouse. Nice. It'd be nice for it to zoom like where your mouse is, but that could just be a feature. Future. I'm gonna move these under the grid because as I expand the grid to like maybe like 10 by 10, you'll see that that goes over. I like the high wind song. I'm going to save it to something. Or I'm just gonna like it. I was thinking like adding it to my some video game list. Yeah. Cool. I'm just glad I got that to kind of work. Alright, and let's do what I said. We're gonna move the tile palette just a little bit lower. Didn't this have like snapping? I guess so. Alright. It's kind of hand wavy, but it's good enough. Oh yeah, the problem is it's on global right now, and I need to make sure just on when you click the background, because this is kind of annoying. Alright, let's just do that right quick. Just a quick hard-coded check. Make sure you're clicking on the background. So on the global mouse event, var background check. Background check. Feels different than what I really mean it to be. So I just want to see if there is a mouse down event on the background. So if not background check, just continue. Sure, item 1. So if there's not a background check, just go ahead and continue. Darn, it seems like it should be working, but I don't know why it's not. Let's check. If there's a background check, alright. You are null. Why are you null? How am I even doing this? Should be happening on the mouse. Oh, I know. I think I know at least. Does our background no longer? It does. It has the collider. It's being clicked on. Hmm. I'm thinking about how I need to handle this. All right, I guess the question is there a point it gets past that on Rider? Um, on here, do you ever get to here? Doesn't seem like it, but why not? We have a background. All right, so for each entity in get entities, background, mouse down event, continue. Items of background. Tell me more. That's what's blowing my mind right now. We have this mouse down event here, but our global mouse down event is not launching. And I'm trying to figure out why. Because it should be delayed a frame. So everything, like if I do a click, it should definitely, like our mouse listener, wherever that is, um, yeah, well, I guess I really don't know about all these events. And maybe it just happens later, and maybe I should just make all my own events. Okay, that's what I'll do next. I'll just do a raycast on the mouse listener. Is that a good idea? I don't know. Uh, maybe, maybe not. Let me learn more about this pointer event data. I don't actually need to know the implementation. That was not expected. So we have the pointer enter, right? Last press, raw pointer press, pointer drag, raycast, pointer ID. Yeah, that's really one of the things I wanted to know about was the pointer ID. You're a struct, aren't you? Or are you a class? You're a class. Okay, so we'll have our pointer ID. So we can grab the pointer I've done this before, and maybe I should just, that's what I'll do. Off the stream, I'm just going to grab my point library that I worked on at some point. We'll grab that, we'll put it in here, and then I'll continue the stream later tonight. But for now, I'm going to take just a little break. I'm just a little tired. And yeah, we'll get back to it. But let me go ahead and start putting stuff in at least a committable state. So I know it's annoying, but it works. Then like if we go bigger, like a 30 by 30 map. Oh man, this is not feeling it. Let's check out our profiler, see what's killing this. In fact, we should probably just make this a 10 by 10 and still see what's killing this. I don't even know where our camera is. Camera, why don't you come back to reality? Why don't we set the position here? Oh, is it that the zoom is really far out? Where's our zoom? Oh yeah, let's just set this to 1. What else did I screw up? Oh, is it the camera? Alright, something's really eating up resources here. Let's just look at, let's not worry about the VSync. Let's not worry about, this is fine. Yeah, this is not great. If this is only running like at 10 milliseconds, this should be running at thousands of frames per second. So something is eating up a lot of this. So we're gonna hit one of these heavy ones. And then we're gonna go to the hierarchy here. And we're gonna see what's eating this up. Alright, so my update, script run behavior, obviously something in some update. Update tile grid, this alone is wasting 3 milliseconds. So let's see what is happening in update tile grid. Update tile grid. I mean, this is the big one. Okay, so what I might do is, I do have a cell count thing that, should we... We have our, I'm just trying to think of what we got. We got our tile grid, and yeah. Like I just want to run this if something's changed. And most likely if the cell count cells. I'm just going to say if cell count does not equal cells that count. But I think the problem with this is maybe it's like times layers. Yeah, like I'm gonna hard code the 2. Maybe that'll cut some of this off. Alright, so we're at like 200 frames per second, but then when I went to 10, there was a significant jump. But it looks like we've cut that behavior that we were seeing by a lot. Right, so it's no longer the top offender here, and we're like at 6 milliseconds. The next top offender is move selection square to cursor. Move selection square to cursor, and that's because of all of this, right? So if it's the current cell, we're trying to grab that. We're just doing a bunch of collision checks, and that's why it's probably taking a lot of this. I feel like something else is probably taking a lot of this too. You're taking a millisecond. The view pan update thing is taking a lot. Okay, well, we'll worry about optimizing a bit later. I just don't want it to go crazy when it's slightly too big. 15 by 15. That still seems to be running okay. The clicking also is causing a lot of I can just see it when I click a lot. Oh my god, you can just see it pump way up high. And that's because why? Why is that? Yeah, we'll have to jump into that, see why that's causing a lot of stuff. I think that being kind of one of the bigger problems right now. Okay. The clicking. The clicking's on the mouse listener. Let's just put it at the top. To do. Investigate why clicking causes tons of CPU usage. Okay. What other problems may we encounter here? Maybe on the background, which is not here, but we can open it up. To do. Increase background size as zoom out occurs. Fill the screen. Okay. Anything else right now? You have to zoom in later, not anywhere in the near future on the view zoom. Zoom into pointer, not center of screen. Okay, I like that. What other things are we seeing as we kind of play around with it? Oh, I know one feature I really want. Um, this is on the layers. Yeah, the layers. Layers. To do. Uh, remove layers. What am I talking about? Remove tile grid placeholder on layers greater than min layer. Uh, so placeholder doesn't render over tiles. Okay. Or if I was really smart, I'll just do it here. Or put placeholders on inaccessible grid below, a layer below. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I'm just thinking about things right now. Anything else? Yeah, I guess the other thing I'm really thinking about is, like, I have this mouse listener class, but I think I might just separate it out to like just individual. Maybe separate this out to each individual event. That way, you don't have to have like a global mouse listener on like all your things that listen for mouse events. You just need to have your global mouse listener on just, one or two things. Yeah, so we'll have our manual layer. We'll do some things. Yeah, we could start thinking about painting everything now pretty easily using this. Yeah, yeah. So, okay, if you see the whole map, I don't want the map to leave the view. There's no reason to, right? Maybe. I guess if you have a little bit of UI in the way, you want to maybe have it at least to here. Yeah, okay. Because here it might still be blocked by the UI grid size thing, and maybe the grid size thing can be here. That might make more sense than having it there. Might have everything just here on the left bar. Yeah. I'll put that on tile palette and grid. Tile palette. To do. Consider putting this on left bar. Keep it going on the grid size. Grid. X. Grid X. Grid X. Ah, I know you're like grid something. Tile grid, grid size. Okay. I'll just put it on the X, but it'll be on both. Consider putting this on the left bar. Okay, so maybe move this to the left bar, move that to the left bar. This will be here. This should expand. Don't paint the grid on top of existing tiles there. Um, maybe on the paint. This won't be here, but like this is the closest thing I got to here. To do, consider adding fill function. To do, consider adding selection box. Drag to move. I'm building out my to-do list now, just so now I'm starting to understand what I'm looking for. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's plenty. Uh, I'm gonna keep adding stuff because I'm thinking about it. On layers, to do add layer option. To do reorganize layers. To do delete layer. Mm-hmm. Um, to do add type to layer. This is kind of the meat of the project, so I'm going to start writing stuff here. Add input or add layer options. And show in some context area. So we have the layer options, and we click on it. I want it to show like the options. Perlin noise options, mask, seed, um, tiles. So if let's just do one tile. Maybe levels or what would I call, like I have a spectrum and I have a place I want to break it. Like I want to break it. So I have here for Perlin noise, I get these like kind of mountainy height map looking things. At some point, I want to cut it where it's like only everything 0.75 and above I want to use my uh, as my like filter. I'll just call it filter levels. That way, if there's just one filter level with one tile, basically, like if we have zero 0.5 with the 0.5, and then we have one tile, basically only half the Perlin map and some pattern will be filled. But like maybe you want it to be more sparse, you can actually make that like 0.8 or 0.9 with yeah. Okay. This will be a great start for the beginning. Um, if I can do like all these to do items. Okay, now that I've like started plotting out and planning what I'm gonna do, Let's commit and call it a day for today. Yeah. What did we do today? We added some mouse events, add mouse events, global mouse events. Um, Add various to-dos for future projects, future, not streams, for future, okay, for future streams, um, sessions. What else did we do? What else did we do? Oh, add panning and zooming to tile grid. And that was kind of the big one. I might make that the first comment. And there we go. That's what we did. Let's go ahead and add everything to VCS. Alright, everything is added, everything's ready. Let's save the scene if I haven't saved the scene already. Yeah, I think it's okay. I'm gonna close this out, or just minimize it. I saved it. Good? We're good. Alright, let's commit and push. "15 to-do items." Alright, we'll have tons to do. Okay, pushed. Everything seems good. Just review my GitHub. I just want to make sure it's all working. What was my last commit? Yep. Was it a bunch of files? 28 changed files. Great. Alright. I'm just making sure. I haven't been doing very good with the writer thing yet. This is my last build. Here it goes. Different layers. Disable, enable layers. Make the layers bigger. Yeah, I guess, that's another thing I need to do is make sure we can have different sized layers. That will be an option for the layer, and that can be the option no matter what the layer is. Yeah, okay, that sounds great. Okay, everybody, that does it for me. I'll be back maybe in a couple hours after dinner, so like 8 or 9. And we'll do one more session. We'll get a lot of those to-do items out of the way, and yeah, it'll be great. We'll get more progress on this. See y'all later. Bye.